Hi, I'm Tony Massey, I'm addiction medicine specialist at Colmac Clinic.
And I'm Rennie G. I'm a musician, producer, and peer specialist at Colmac as well.
Yeah. And I'm Doc.
And I'm Rock.
All right.
Okay, let's get started, shall we?
Let's.
I have a question.
Okay.
And this question is from James. This is actually kind of common, I think. I don't like 12-step meetings. I've heard that before. What are some other options for me? Lots of other options. Do you want to take a stab at this first?
I'll take a stab because I think this is really your bailiwick, but let's see if I can muck it up a little bit first, and you can do the cleanup after.
I got your back. That's how we roll.
James, thanks for writing in. By the way, that's we depend on listeners and viewers to send in questions like that, so
Yes.
appreciate it. Now, there are a lot of different options out there for what supports in the community would be helpful for you. And one thing maybe you'll touch on a bit more. I wouldn't necessarily give up on a 12-step program if you didn't like the first one you went to, because these come in all sorts of different sizes and flavors and whatever. So so don't give up on that. But I think the most important thing is to do something, and do something that involves other people.
Yeah, other recovering
people, and may involve some degree of sharing and support. And again, there's a lot out there, but I think that connection between you and someone else that's struggling with the same addiction or similar addiction, maybe a little more ahead on their recovery time, or maybe not as much ahead. There's a real healing aspect to that, and I think that's what really works for people.
Absolutely. I'll quote my stepdad, who's in recovery.
Okay.
Alcoholism, as we know it, is not contagious.
Mm-hmm.
However, recovery is. And
that's great.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
And actually, Tony is absolutely right. I think without the recovery network, I wouldn't be sober. I think most people would fail eventually, because it's a disease. And it's a disease that tells us we don't have it. And when we're alone, we can convince ourselves of anything. When we spent years convincing ourselves it was okay to drink and take drugs and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And so in recovery, I think we need to recognize that alone is sometimes not always a bad place, because isolation and being alone are two different things, which we can cover at another time. But definitely with other people, there are. I don't know much about Smart Recovery, but I know that a lot of people that I work with at Colmac leave and go to Smart Recovery meetings, because the 12-step thing isn't for them, and I'm okay with that. But like you said, I think they have to try it. Go to a meeting, go to several meetings. In Al-Anon, they say go to 6 meetings before you decide whether or not this is for you.
I would say that sounds like a good number to me.
Yeah, because you might hit one that's not a great night. Who knows? Anyway, there are many options. I mean, some people find recovery in church. Some people find recovery in
Celebrate Recovery.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is really, that's helped so many people.
Right.
So, there's church, or your spiritual community may be a good place to go. They may have some, something within your community that would be at school
organizations. I'm sure there are sober student networks.
Absolutely.
There are tons of activities, and I think the crucial thing, like you said, is that it's focus on recovery. It's not just going to play soccer with friends. It's going to play soccer with recovery friends, and then going to dinner afterwards and talking about recovery, and sort of like getting that group psychotherapy. I mean, aftercare. Every rehab in the country has a series of aftercare meetings. Which work. And
not every experience is going to be a perfect fit for everybody. So and I know I'm going to mess this up, but we tell people something like, take what you need from the experience, and just leave the rest behind. So you don't have to take all the stuff you don't like about the whatever meeting.
And also, one final thing, I think it's not up to the meeting to fit itself to our needs. It's up to us to sort of find out what we need to do to fit into the recovery environment that we want to be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because in addiction, I was always waiting for everyone to do what I wanted them to do, and this job's not working for me. It's their fault. I was the problem. So in recovery, I need to recognize that it's my responsibility to work it.
Yeah, and instead of being the problem, you're the solution,
Right.
and you know make adjustments. So,
Yep.
Well, keep at it. Thanks again, James.
Do something. I don't care what you do, but you got to do something.
Do something.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
All right. I'm Rock.
And I'm Doc. And thanks again for sending in your questions.
See you next time.
Yeah.